We're surrounded. We're in the middle of a thicket of overgrown buckthorn and honeysuckle and gooseberries and all kinds of stuff. But right back here, this tree right here is tree number 133 of the 150 or so old apple trees that are scattered around the old Badger ammo plant property. This tree, which is almost now overgrown too by big old cottonwood back there, was apparently a tree that was adjacent to the church, or part of the churchyard of what was called the Telke Church. This tree we grafted in 2017, and one of those grafted trees is now there in Milwaukee at Havenwoods. So from this tree to a piece of grafting material that we call cyanwood was put on rootstock in 2017, planted in the nursery, grew for 4 growing seasons, and then we transplanted it just this week. And now hopefully it will have a long life in Milwaukee, from Sauk County, an old church that no longer exists, to a new home with the same tree.
In the early 20th century, this was the Milwaukee House of Corrections, and then in the Second World War, the U.S. Army took this over, and I believe in 1945 there were prisoners of war kept here. After the Second World War, the Army kept this land, and actually in the late 1950s, Nike missiles were installed on the north side of this property. But within 2 years of their installation, Nike missiles became obsolete. Sometime, I think in the late 60s or early 70s, the Army abandoned this, and for about a decade it was no man's land. And maybe in like the mid to late 70s, a bunch of neighbors and Milwaukee residents got together and tried to put together a plan of like what to do with this property. And ultimately they thought it should be a green space, and they got the state involved, and the state purchased it. And I think it was in 1981 this became a state forest.
Okay. This means legacy. It means connection. It means sustainability. I feel full and thankful for the opportunity to connect rural and urban spaces. And it's so powerful because this tree is going to be here long after I am, hopefully, still feeding people and still connecting spaces, I hope. Oh, this space is like divine connection back to balance. When I come here at least once a week and just walk around to recharge, because living in like the inner city is, the green spaces are usually on a different side of town, so you have to drive there. So it means a lot, and I want to help conserve the space.